Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is the eye look we're going to be doing today. I have not added my mascara. You guys know I do that after both of my eyes are done. So to do this look, I used the Juvia's Place The Violets palette. I think I've only done one other video using this palette and it wasn't my favorite. I wasn't really feeling it in that video, but obviously I have stepped my game up significantly when it comes to using this palette, and this is all I use to get this look. So I'm going to show you how I deepened up my outer corner without adding any more shadows. So if you are interested, then keep on watching. If I'm a little off in this video, it's because I got a lot of stuff in my mind. Yes, it is pertaining to George Floyd's murder, but I am not going to be talking about that in this video, all right? But if I do seem distracted, it's because obviously I think we're all thinking about it. But makeup is my solace. Makeup makes me feel better, and I would like to think the reason you're watching this video is because makeup makes you feel better too. So that's all I'm gonna say about it. Fucking sucks. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, so to prime my eye, I went in with my ABH cream contour palette, and I used the salmon and yellow shades. And then on my lid, I used the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eye Primer, and this is pretty much just a white base. I use it when I'm going to be working with brighter colors. Alright, so to begin this look, I'm going to start on the outer corner, and I'm going to be using this shade right here. These shades do not have names, so I'm just going to be pointing to them. And this is a pretty easy look. It looks like I spent a lot of time, but a majority of it is just blending, and you'll see as we go along. So I'm just tapping that shade on my outer corner, and I'm trying not to go above my crease because I'm going to be using another shade to blend it. And these eyeshadows are very pigmented, so you don't need a lot on your brush to get the color payoff. And of course, the eye primer is going to be helping that as well. And I did not set my eye with any kind of powder. The ABH primer dries matte, but it is sticky enough to where it's going to help these shadows really pop on the lid. So I'm still taking that dark purpley blue shade and building up my outer corner, and then I'm going to take a little bit on the edge of the brush and put it around my eye socket area. It's a little bit above my crease because I do want this to be seen when my eye is open. So I'm just tapping it in my eye socket. And then using the excess on the outer corner. All right, next I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. And I'm going to be using a fluffier brush. I'm going to get some of this pigment off of it first because I don't want it to blend this eyeshadow all the way up into my brow. And I'm just going to put my brush into that shade, tap off the excess, and I'm first going to tap it over the edge of that darker purple. Let me zoom in so you guys can see a little bit better. So as you can see, I'm just tapping that lighter purple lavender shade along the edge of the darker purple. And my eyes are super watery. So I just have my little bag of Q-tips on deck, And I try to dab the inner and outer corner of my eyes while I do this. But that's also why I extend the darker part of the eyeshadow so far out, because if I put it right at the edge of my eye, it's not going to stick because my eyes water so much. But even as you can see on this eye, it extends really far out. Even if my eye does water, I'm still going to have some of the darkness right there to keep it smoky. And I'm also going to show you how to use a liner to keep your eyeshadow on your eye if you have watery eyes. So I'm going back in with that dark purple shade. And once again, just building it on the outer corner. And then going back in with that lavender shade with the fluffier brush and tapping over the edges. And I'm holding my brush on the very end pretty much because I want a very light hand. All right, and then I'm going to wipe my brush off on my color switch so there's no excess pigment on there. And then I'm just going to use this to blend. And I'm going in circular upwards motions, just blending out that edge. And as you can see, the blend is already getting naturally higher. So you don't have to add a lot of pigment in order to blend these shades out. Right, and then I'm going to go in with a slimmer blending brush. And I'm using a Sephora Micro Smooth powder in the shade Sand. And I'm going to use this to fade out the edges of this look. So I'm pretty much using this as a transition color as well. And it's also going to take away that white cast that I have along my brow. So just going over the edges in small circular motions and holding my brush toward the end. And then I'm going to go in with a brush with no product on it and buff out the edges even more. This look is really all about blending. And then since we blended and a lot of the darker portion has been blended away, you just reapply, once again, starting on that outer corner and slightly bringing it up into my crease area. And it's okay if you get it on your lid because we're going to be covering that up anyway. You just don't want to bring it any higher than your crease. Then going in with that lavender color. Pretty much just repeating the same steps we did before. Alright, so this is where we are now. I'm going to finish blending after I've went in with my lid color and deepened up the outer corner and all that jazz. So you guys know my trick when I want a eyeshadow to be a little bit more on the smoky, deeper side. I just go in with black lipstick. Y'all know what this is. Milani Black Spell. Just regular old black lipstick. So I use a brush. Get some of that lipstick on the brush, and I'm first going to tap it on my outer corner, right on top of that dark eyeshadow that we've already applied. And I'm just keeping it really low on that outer corner. And then I'm going to bring it in onto the rest of my lid. I'm kind of cutting my crease, but not really. You'll see what I mean. I'm being really careful not to bring the lipstick past my crease. All right, so lipstick's applied. Now I'm going to go in to that dark matte purple shade again and apply that on the outer corner with the same brush that I used to apply the lipstick. And that's how I get that dark purple shade to kind of look black and make it super smoky. And then I'm going to go in to the shimmer shades in this palette. So I'm first going to use this one right here. And I'm going to get a lot on my brush. And I'm going to place it on the middle of my eyelid and blend it into the matte purple on the outer part here. I'm not bringing the shimmer all the way to the inner corner because I do want that to be matte, but I'm bringing it pretty close and blending it. And then I'm just tapping that on the lipstick. And since the lipstick is not a matte lipstick, it's going to help the shimmer to stick. And I find that patting when you're applying is a lot better than swiping. So I'm bringing that all the way, almost all the way into my inner corner area. Maybe about 2/3 of the way in. And then I'm going to go in with this shade right here. Apply that to a small synthetic brush. And I am going to spray this with some hydrating spray. It can be water, it doesn't really matter, setting spray. And then I'm going to apply that on my inner corner. Still on the black lipstick. Foiling it is just going to help it shine a little bit more. And then I'm overlapping it onto that darker shimmer shade. Now my eyes are not symmetrical, like they're not the same height. So this one is a little bit lower on my face than this one. And this eye, or is it this eye? This eye is a little bit more almond shaped than this eye. So I try my best to keep my creases even, but just looking at it right now, you can see that this one's higher than this one. I'm not going to worry about it because if I bring this up too high, the shimmer is going to get on the flatter part of my eye and it's just going to look weird. And I don't want that. So I'm going to keep this, up into my crease, but no higher, even though my eyes are not even. It's whatever. All right. And then I'm going to go back in with that first brush that we used to apply the darker shade, the one without the black lipstick. And I'm going to apply it to my outer corner, keeping that very outer corner matte. And I'm going to stamp it into my crease. Right into that crease area all the way around my eye. Sorry, I was out of focus for that, wasn't I? Okay, let me try that again. I'm just literally pushing the brush into my crease area from outer to inner corner, and that's just going to add a little bit of a shadow in my crease area. I don't know if you can see what I'm talking about. It just added a nice dark little ring right there. So I'm just going to keep applying that, mainly on the outer corner because that's where I want it to be the smokiest. Like I said before, this look is super easy. You're not using a lot of colors, and the techniques you're using are not like super hard to do. You just have to be patient and blend. So now you see that harsh line right there. I'm going to go in with that fluffy brush that I used to apply the lavender. There's a little bit of fallout with this palette with the shimmers, but I don't care. I'm not one of those people that care about fallout. I care about pigmentation. Sorry if you guys can hear my cat. He wants attention. Whenever I'm doing a video, he wants attention. Right, and then going in with that more pointed blending brush with that foundation from Sephora and lightly going over the edges. Right. Just like before, I know you guys can see that sharp line right there. Just like before, I'm going to go off camera and continue blending because it's going to take me a while. And I'll be right back. My eyes will be lined when I come back, and I'm going to be using this Urban Decay pencil in the shade 0. It's basically a black liner. Use whatever liner you have, and I'm going to use it on my top waterline and my bottom waterline. So when I come back, we're going to start working on the bottom lash line. All right, so my eye is lined, and as you can see, I brought it down lower than my lash line because I'm going to be setting it with that deep purple color. Once again, it's going to give the illusion of the deep purple being more on like the darker, blacker side. So I'm just taking a little e.l.f. brush. I don't even know what it is. All my brushes are super old. I rarely switch out my brushes unless the bristles start falling out. Because, I mean, who has money to be buying brushes, pardon me, constantly? Oh, I also put a little bit of that liner on my top lid as well to give it more of a black appearance. And I brought it past the outer corner of my eye. And this is what helps keep my watery eyes from removing all my eyeshadow on the outer corner. If you put a liner on there, it will prevent your eyeshadow from being completely ruined. I mean, it's going to have a little gap there, but it's just not going to be as noticeable as it would be if you just had eyeshadow there and not a base for it. So now I'm just bringing that darker color along my lower lash line. I'm not bringing it all the way to the inner corner because I don't want to close my eye off too much. And then I'm going in with that same fluffy brush that I used on the top lid and using that lavender shade and just tapping. You guys can't even see me, I'm sorry. And then I'm just tapping. And you can see that disjointed area right there. I'm going to fix that in a second. And then I'm going to go in with the brush that I use with the dark lipstick, or with the black lipstick, apply some of that dark shade, and connect the outer corner with the inner corner. And then, once again, taking the brush that I use with the lavender, tapping off the excess, and bringing the color around. I'm trying to get the blend to wrap around my eye like I did on this side. It takes some time, but you can get there. I'm going to use a different brush actually. I'm going to use the pointed blending brush to do this. And this side comes out a lot more than this side. What I'm going to do is just use my finger to buff it away after I'm done and satisfied with the blend. Alright, so once again I'm going to go off camera, finish this outer corner, and when I come back I will have my mascara on, and then we'll continue with the face.